Let me just get this out of the way. The Eagles won, all right? And as an unproud Negadelphia Eagles fan for the past 10 years, I want to get that out of the way because there's a lot of criticism that needs to be thrown at this team. You know, I thought that this team was going to come up upset. I thought some of these guys who had, you know, done really bad against the Commanders, who had done really poorly in that game, we're going to step up, and we're definitely going to show their might and their leadership skills. I just didn't see that for some of these guys. I don't know. A.J. Brown, what are you doing, man? Like, you're supposed to be a Pro Bowl caliber wide receiver, right? Against the Commanders, you only had one reception for, 7 yards? In this game, you fumbled the ball in a situation where you shouldn't have done that. Like, we got the fumble, we had all the momentum, we were moving down, you were moving down the field, and then you fumbled the ball. What is with that? Like, what is with the fact that this team who preached ball security didn't fumble once for the first 8 weeks or something like that? Just now we don't care about that anymore. Sure, A.J. Brown had a better game, but he didn't do well. This was one of those games, right, when it's all said and done, right? I'm a procrastinating king. I'm the king of procrastinating. Right? I could teach a class on procrastinating. This is one of those games where, like, you're studying for a test, right? And you're studying for a test not the night before, not 2 nights before, but like on the bus to school, right? And you got to take the test like first period. You're walking to school or something like that. And like if you hadn't studied, you would have failed, right? But instead, you got a C, so you passed. C's get degrees. So that was what this game felt like to me. I felt like this team dinked around for 3 quarters, finally scored a touchdown, had a chance to add to the score and make it at least a 13-13 ball game, maybe even a 17-13 ball game, and then fumbled the ball. The Colts go down the field. They had a chance to win the ball game. They had a chance to put the game away, but they kicked a field goal. And then the Eagles got the ball. They went down the field. They scored a touchdown. Man, like, the thing that the difference between Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown in this game is this just number one fact. It's the fact that A.J. Brown fumbled that ball and really didn't do anything after that. Jalen Hurts fumbled that ball. You can blame the line, which I'm sure that they will, but you got to protect the ball better than that, right? A sack is way better than a fumble because that fumble led to points. I'll say it like this. That dude has heart, right? You can talk about how that guy, some people think that guy's like a running back playing quarterback, whatever. The dude has heart. Like, if we had Gardner Minshew in that game, we don't win. Nope. Not to say that Gardner Minshew isn't a good quarterback, but the heart that Jalen Hurts showed on that last drive, that can't be replicated. Right? That guy knew that he was going to go into the end zone and score, right? Nothing was stopping him from scoring. 300, 200-pound men trying to take him away from scoring. He did that himself. What else are you going to say to that? That end of that game was masterful by the whole team. And yes, he made a mistake. But yes, he made up for that mistake. And that's got to be something positive in my book as we evaluate Jalen Hurts. I look at this game and I say to myself, again, we should have blown the Colts out. The Eagles should have blown the Colts out. There's absolutely no excuse for why the score was the way it was in the end. Right? When you get into enemy territory, right? You get into the 40-yard line, the 35-yard line, you need to score some kind of points. And at the very beginning of the game, penalty, take the team back. At one point, we were at 4th and 35, 4th and something, really long. You can't do that. You can't do that against some of these good teams in the league and expect to have a positive result. You know, the Eagles were playing against a subpar 500 team, right? 4-5-1, subpar 500 caliber team. You can't do that. That was horrible. That was horrible, embarrassing. In fact, I was truly embarrassed by that game. Right? I was after that first drive, I was like, dude, again, long drive, can't stop them, rushing touchdown. We can't stop this. Right? I got a text from my sister who was like, I thought the Eagles were good. And I turned my phone off during the games. Like, I'm just like, dude, shut. Like, I don't talk to people during games. I don't. I keep my phone off. That stuff just grinds my gears. I'm never one of those people. I'm never one of those people who will be like, oh, yeah, your team sucks so much, but, right? I'll never do something like that. Ever since I accidentally, I jinxed the Atlanta Falcons in the Super Bowl. I never do that stuff. I always keep to myself. So, as things were in the game, weren't going well. First quarter, second quarter, had a chance to score a touchdown. Because of bad center play, had to kick a field goal. And then, you know, getting past Colts territory and not doing anything. The play calling was just garbage, right? And we dinked around a few times, not just with the turnovers, not just with the penalties. There were a few situations where we were at like 2nd and 1, 2nd and 2. And instead of calling like some sort of play action play or some sort of RPO, some sort of push Jalen Hurts in the back and get a first down, we just kept giving it to Miles Sanders, and it wasn't working. The Colts did a great job stopping our running game, Miles Sanders. Right? They could not stop Jalen Hurts, but they stopped Miles Sanders, which teams have not been able to do this season. And a lot of people got on the play calling for not calling enough runs in the last game. Well, this was one of those games where you needed to call less runs. No offense, but it just wasn't a good game running the football. Jalen Hurts definitely did the bulk of the running and had the most success with the bulk of the running. I always say you need to run the ball, but it felt like the Eagles were just running the ball to run it. They were just dinking around. They were kind of just toying, seemed to be like toying with the Colts, like, we'll show you how bad we can be or something like that. I don't know. I just didn't like that. I am a proponent of running the football, but I was just standing like this, running the football like this, it's just not working. And it caused the Colts to be able to score more field goals. Now, the Eagles won this game because they were the better team. And what ends up happening is these teams decide we're going to protect our lead instead of trying to score more points. And they couldn't score touchdowns. We scored touchdowns. That's the reason why the Philadelphia Eagles won the game. That's just how it goes. And I'm not going to say that the game was 100% embarrassing, but I was embarrassed to win by 1 point against the Colts. I know Matt Ryan always plays the Eagles tough. He does. You know, every time we go up to play Matt Ryan or down to play Matt Ryan, he always gives us a game. He didn't give up, but the Eagles were just a better team. They were just a better team, and they didn't show it until the last minute of the game. So if the Eagles want to play against some of the big guys, the big teams, the good teams, they got to be playing better than that, right? You can't not score on drives where you get into enemy territory. The penalties just push us back. Got to do something about the penalties. Because penalties like those will absolutely crush you.